Hey everybody, I am the Creative Lady and this is Nappylicious TV, my natural hair, fashion, and beauty channel. This was supposed to be a live video. I'm trying something different. Hopefully the lighting is okay and the audio is good. So this is going to be number one of my natural hair chats for the month of February. So yeah, I was talking recently to a friend of mine. Hey girl, hey. And it brought back a flashback, a memory of when I first went natural. And the person involved in this conversation has recently passed away. So it was just like right here in the conversation and the thought patterns in my mind. So when I first went natural, for the final time. Well, I've been natural several times before, and throughout these chit chats, I hope to share that with you guys. But when I went natural for the final time, or returned to natural the final time in 2007, I transitioned for about 10 months secretly in braids and wigs and things, and didn't tell anybody but my husband that I was transitioning to natural because I had experienced the texture of my hair. I loved it, but I was not ready for it. But that comes later. But this time, I knew I was ready and I was going to get mentally prepared for it with the transition. And it was a long transition, 10 months. So I finally cut off my hair when school got out, June of 2007. And it was about the time we were about to have a family reunion. So I'm from Mississippi, deep down in the South, the heart of Dixie, where people, especially black people, feel that a woman's hair, finish it with me, is her what? Her crown and glory. That's right. So hair is really big down south in a lot of places, but especially in the deep South, where, if it's not fried, dyed, and laid to the side, it ain't done right. So to go home with nappy hair, and we're going to talk about that word later too, but to go home with nappy hair, unpermed hair, short hair, 2007 now. We'd have made it through 1999 into a new millennium. 2007, I went home with natural hair, happy about it. And faced a lot of criticism from my blood family, my mom included. She did not like it, even though my mom had been natural all of my life and all of her life. Never, ever, ever had my mom had a perm, but she always got that press and curl every 2 weeks, so that's another conversation. But anyway, y'all, went home to a family gathering, and there was a man there who was an older gentleman who has been friends with the family for a long time. I never had a whole lot of interaction with him because, just something about him that just did not gel with me. So I didn't never have a lot of interaction with this individual. But he was friends with my grandmother. He and his wife were friends with my grandmother, and they were always invited to the family events. And so here I show up with my short, natural hair and stood next to this staunch Southern gentleman who was big in the movement, the civil rights movement in our town. However, that feeling about this right here was still ingrained and subconsciously unacceptable in his mind. So he feels the need to ask me, what you done to yourself? Now, mind you, I had had all types of criticisms from my family members and things like that who did, I'll tell you more about those conversations. But this conversation is about what that man said to me. What did you do to yourself? Not what had I done to my hair or my head, but to myself. So there he was, standing there judging and criticizing me for a choice that I made about my own life. And, there were things I'd heard about him that, who was I as a supposedly respectable young person to say to him, So, and let me say this, let me preface this. You all see people come on YouTube and they're put on their YouTube persona or their happy whatever. But this thing right here, it's like a razor blade. It cuts and it cuts deep, and you don't know you've been cut until you go back and think about it. So I've always been a respectable person. My grandparents and my parents raised me to be respectful of my elders. However, being a petite person, an only child, little bitty person, I always had to fight. Oprah said all her life she had to fight. I had to always be ready to do whatever because people always wanted to try me. But they didn't know that I was feisty and was willing to go toe to toe. So, and that's still true in my personality today. You're not going to get me. You're not going to let somebody bully me. I'm not going to be bullied, and I'm not going to stand by and let anybody else be bullied. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, so I'm very respectful and mannerable of my adults and things like that. But if you, at that age in my life when I was in 2007, you're not gonna talk to me crazy, no matter how old you are. If I said something to you, we go toe to toe. That's different. But for you, old man, to come to me and ask what I had done to myself based on my hair, and you standing there asking me this, and you ain't got a tooth in your head. So, y'all, I felt some kind of way, and I was like looking. My grandmother was within earshot, so I'm like, what do you do? Do you just let it go and just ignore him, or, as I had been known to do, I will use a few choice words to get you up off me? So I made the decision to let that man have it. Okay, let me tell you, my grandmother was over there, but I am her granddaughter, and so she has been known to let folks have it, so she understood. But it wasn't I just let him have it, y'all, because this was my choice, and you, toothless man, with no uppers and no lowers, were going to come and judge me and try to make me feel some kind of way about my decision to wear my hair in the natural state that I was born with. I was not. I'd already been through that in a lot of different scenarios, and you had to, back then, even in 2007, have a certain demeanor to wear your hair because people judged you, judged your life, just judged everything about you just based on how you wear your hair. Even now, it's a little bit more acceptable because a lot of women have gone natural and embraced return to being natural. But back then, it was still, like, what you doing? What's going on? Are you okay in your life? And I'll share with y'all in other videos because I want to keep this under 10 minutes. Some of the funny things that I experienced. Now, this was one more of those judgmental things, but it was one of them pushback things. But not today, partner. No, you are not. And over the years, I have learned to calm it down. A lot of people have gone natural, so people have gotten used to in my hometown of seeing people natural, but there's still people who go to the salon and get them relaxers, get the press and curl, my mama included, But it's interesting being in Mississippi natural in 2007. Even though I was living in Tennessee, I would go home and it wasn't quite, things kind of catch on a little slower down below the Mason-Dixon line sometimes. However, I've always been an innovator and never fearful of living my life the way I wanted to live my life, regardless as to what anyone thought about it. So these natural hair chats are to help anyone who is considering going natural or just making a decision in your life for yourself that you feel that others may not approve of. It does not matter. It's your life. We only get one. We've got to live the life that is best for us and deal with it as best we can. It's hard out here in life in general, and it's even harder trying to please people that mean absolutely nothing to you or give you anything. Even if they're giving to you, you still have to know within yourself that, hey, this is my choice. You can take it or leave it. When you start trying to live for somebody else or please other people, you're going to almost go crazy because nobody is going to ever be happy. So be you, be happy, and enjoy this life. I hope the audio was good. If you liked it, comment down below. Subscribe to my channel. More chit chats in the month of February. I'm the Creative Lady. Bye, y'all.